Let's talk about social media and ophthalmology. These are my financial disclosures. And I tried to make this talk for people here that really don't know what social media is, or people who every time they hear about social media, they just flip out. They just want to stay away as much as they can with social media. I want to start from the basics. What exactly is social media? And even though it has a definition in the dictionary, I just think that for many people it's different. It's just everyone has a different definition. And for me, my definition of social media is pretty much what shows up in the Google search bar. If you haven't done it yet, just searching your name on Google, I would encourage you to do it. Patients are actually looking in here and looking for your information, and not only patients. Resumes are pretty much old school nowadays, and your colleagues will look for you online, and even your future bosses. So you can grab your phones now and maybe just search your name and see what shows up. We're going to come up with the example here under my name. This is what it shows up when I type my name on Google. And I like to make a distinction between the websites that show up, and pretty much I divide them into two main categories. And these two categories are ones that have social media platforms and the ones that are based on online reviews. For online reviews, you'll see that there's so many out there, and you really don't know who's making these websites or who's writing in there, but they're there and they show up pretty high on your Google search bar. We can go over and over through this talk and tell you why it's very important for you to have good online reviews, but that's something that we can do on a different lecture. Today I want to talk to you about the websites that you can actually control, your social platforms. So just take control of your online reputation. Whether we like it or not, we will be in social media no matter what. And if we don't narrate our own story online, somebody else will do it for us. And that's based on the reviews that you see. All right, so if I convince you now, how do we start? There's a lot of platforms here, and it's basically just what you want to do in terms of what your goals are. For example, if you're trying to connect with other colleagues or show some articles, you can always use LinkedIn or Twitter. If you really want to show your surgical cases, then YouTube will be the right platform for you. If you're more like pictures and sharing some cases, then Facebook and Instagram. And there's a new one, if you really like to dance and put some choreographs here, then you got TikTok. One of the things that if you're using more than one platform, just make sure that you use the same name or handle across the website so patients can find you and other colleagues can find you very quickly. Just to show you here how many people use social media, this was done in 2018, Facebook has 2.26 billion users. And then you have YouTube, 2 billion, Instagram, 1 billion. So basically here, 1 in 3 people in the world use social media. You can see here, everything you post, you can get a huge audience. Now, once you pick your platform, pick your why. What do you want to do when you are in there? Do you want to educate others? Are you trying to network with colleagues? Do you want to attract patients? Or do you want to work with industry, collaborate with other companies, or just pretty much do a blog style? I think those are my main ones. And I'd like to share my experience with social media. I'm actually pretty active on Instagram. That's pretty much my biggest platform here. And I started it when I was a first-year resident at the University of Florida, hence my name, Gators. And pretty much my why was nobody knew about ophthalmology. When I was in med school, I actually didn't even know anything about ophthalmology. So I wanted to show the world, pre-meds, med students, to see what ophthalmology was. And I started sharing fun pictures, basically anything that I was doing, showing my OR days or what's the Snellen chart, and that's basically what I like to share. But I realized that my audience wasn't really med students, yeah. It was more my colleagues, ophthalmologists around the world. And that was pretty interesting. I mean, ophthalmologists all over the world really wanted to see what I was doing in the United States. And it was incredible how many people wanted to get in contact with me and how much I could do for them, for example. So many ophthalmologists have reached out to me, and even for myself, whenever I had to take a test, I would always ask and be like, hey, do you guys have articles or anything that I can look? And the amount of source of information that I got was amazing. Not only that, networking was pretty big. I got to meet one of the biggest Instagrammers in the ophthalmology community. You can find them here. I put their handles. And on the left side, I got to meet Dr. Tom Oding, which is actually our guest speaker today. We've stayed pretty active here on Instagram, commenting each other. And more other ophthalmologists, you know, there's pretty big people in the ophthalmology community. For example, we're always liking each other. The president of the American Academy of Ophthalmology, we're always liking pictures and everything. So it's really a huge, huge networking situation here. Another example is my own story as well. Via Instagram, I met Tammy Boghetti, who's the girl wearing the yellow shirt. And thanks to her, she introduced me to one of former ICAMED's fellows, George Durr. I told George how I really liked ICAMED's work, and he made me introduce me to Ike. I came here, and the rest is history. I matched for the fellowship. So really, if this is happening to me, it can also happen to you. The other thing for Instagram is that you can show your commitment. You know, you don't need anyone to promote you. You can promote yourself. So whether you are presenting a poster, you are speaking at a conference, you just publish a paper, just show yourself, you know, put it in there and show how much you love your profession. There's other people who are pretty active on Instagram, and these people would like to educate. If you're not a person who really likes to take pictures of yourself, then you can share your cases. You don't have to just be posting on your scrubs like I makes fun of me. So that's for educating, just showing your surgical cases. If you want to attract patients, you can always just put patient stories, patient experience, and before and after. Here, of course, you have to be a little bit more careful because you have to have patient-protected information. But to the left, this guy who does LASIK, for example, he has videos of patients getting LASIK right after, and they open their eyes and they start crying because they can see so well. And he's doing pretty good. And then if you're in oculoplastics, the before and after pictures, really patients do love watching that as well. Now, if you're more of a blogger, I think that's the one that attracts the most followers. If you're sharing your family, your personal experience, these three people are huge in the Instagram community. And again, thanks to my Instagram, I got to meet them as well. Now, another thing that was huge in Instagram, it's collaboration. I was actually very surprised to see how many companies wanted to collaborate with me, even though I didn't feel like I had that many followers. One of them was a huge department store called Dillard's in the United States. And right before I moved to Canada, they paid for me 3 outfits of $600 each just of showing one of these pictures. And it was amazing because coming from Florida to Canada, I didn't have any winter clothes. So I spent all that money literally to pay for this. Another one is the scrubs. I used to wear like all the hospital baggy scrubs, and the amount of scrubs companies that have reached out to me, it's incredible. But I picked Figs. I think Figs is a great scrubs company. I get free scrubs all the time. Actually, they started shipping to Canada, and they are looking for ambassadors. So if you're interested in getting free scrubs, you should contact them and start getting the best scrubs ever. Another thing that Figs company did to me, and actually the picture to your left is the picture that pretty much blew up on my Instagram, and that's how Figs contacted me. I got invited into a yoga retreat in California for 4 days with 50 other doctors and nurses, and it was amazing, all paid at a ranch. And I got to meet all these people, so a really, really good networking experience as well. More related to ophthalmology, I am very interested in international work. So I went to one of the courses that SEE International offer, and I posted this picture, and the SEE International company actually contacted me, and they wanted to invite me on a trip. So something that I would pay, otherwise pay, now you're getting it for free. I think that's a huge investment here. So now it's your turn. I think everyone can do it here. There's space for everyone. Whether you're trying to network with colleagues, it's a huge source of information. You know, people all over the world are happy to talk to you and willing to share their information. Show your commitment to your profession. You know, everything there, just collaborate with industry. I think here, industry, if you're ever interested, they will be interested in you. With the amount of people you can reach on social media, they will contact you, and you may be able to work with industry based on this, just on Instagram or LinkedIn. So take home points. Social media is here to stay. Don't let others narrate your story, narrate yourself. Pick a platform you most feel comfortable with and start creating. It is okay to change your why and promote yourself. It's free. Thank you.